From being an academic prodigy at a young age to being the most relentless yet righteous soul in Hollywood, here's everything you need to know about Katt Williams. Let's start from the top, shall we? Born on the 2nd of September, 1971, Katt was raised in Ohio by Jehovah's Witnesses, and by the age of 3, he could speak fluently. This just goes to show how big of a mind this man was capable of having, because he explained how knowledge was always power. At the age of 5, he'd be performing in front of hundreds of people wearing a suit and everything. And by the age of 8, he read the entire encyclopedia. Now, back in the day, reading a book like that would require a lot of devotion. Because when we were 8 years old, we would never think of picking up a book without a picture on every other page, right? But Williams said that he read around 3,000 books by the time he was 11. You must be wondering why he did all that in the first place. Well, as Jehovah's Witnesses, his parents would go to missionaries and sermons around Ohio. And there'd be a huge language barrier. So Katt was the one talking to other adults in different languages because his parents couldn't speak French. He was also expected to pursue a career in medicine or law, but that's not what he wanted to do. When he was 13, Katt hitched a ride and moved to Florida. Now, there were a lot of levels to this, because one of his reasons was that he didn't want to be the type of person he was surrounded by. Williams described them as intellectual and smart people, but unhappy as well. Katt wanted to be who he wanted to be, which not only strayed away from what was expected of him, but it also didn't align with his parents' lifestyle. You see, before becoming one of the greatest comedians of this generation, which I'll obviously be getting into right after his history, Katt struggled with trying to stay true to his religion and upbringing while disapproving of what his parents taught as well. In the Club Shay Shay interview that everyone's talking about, he said that he was involved in an altercation with his father. What he wanted to do went against his parents, so either the teachings would have to change or he'd be off to another state. Unfortunately, he packed his suitcase and was off to Florida with nothing but $2,500 and a dog. 8 hours of studying and stealing car radios became part of his routine, all to give him the education, experience, and exposure to become the star he is today. I think that's enough about his past, right? Let's move on to the spicier bits of his career, which include feuding with a ton of celebrities. Apart from starring in movies like Friday After Next, Norbit, and First Sunday, he's made a terrific career as a stand-up comedian. Pimp Chronicles Parts 1 and 2, It's Pimpin', Pimpin' and Priceless, and Afterlife are some of his best comedy specials to date. And let's just say that other comedians felt the same way. But here's where the drama starts. Comedians like Kevin Hart and Cedric the Entertainer saw the potential in him and how Williams was set on a pedestal with his comedy, but disapproved of how he dealt with fame. Take this interview with Hart, for example. As you can see, he has a huge problem with Katt thinking he's all high and mighty and not giving people who were under him the stepping stone to fame. Hart compared himself to Williams, saying he made it big and helped his friends reach the same level of fame. Long story short, he basically called Hart an industrial plant. It's 2024, and calling a celebrity that is one of the worst insults you could think of. Katt claims that for 5 solid years, every movie that Kevin did was a movie that had been on his desk. He pointed out problems with the characters Hart wrote and how using someone's sexuality, like Step and Fetch It, wasn't the only thing that would have made the jokes work. The criticism got to Hart's head so quickly that he was throwing random facts about Katt and the Knicks when he was on NBA Unplugged. How embarrassing. To respond to everything Katt said, Kevin tweeted this while promoting his new movie Lift, which will be dropping on Netflix. The replies? Oh boy. People are telling him Katt put him on a blender and accused him of having multiple DUI car crashes when he was the one telling Williams off for choosing a life of drugs. But those are just 2 out of the handful of comments by fans. So instead of talking about those throughout this video, let's see what Katt said about Cedric the Entertainer. To give you the gist of it, have a look at this tweet where a fan points out Cedric straight up stealing a joke from the late 80s show Designing Women. Oh, That's word for word. So, Katt had enough of CJ stealing jokes from him and old sitcoms. Right off the bat, Katt called him a walrus, which a lot of people found hilarious. Cedric the Entertainer has the word entertainer in his stage name, but Williams pointed out that over the years, he's proven to everybody that he can't act, he can't sing, he can't dance, and can't write his own jokes. 4 of CJ's comedy specials are so bad that they're unavailable on Netflix or Tubi. Cedric responded immediately to Club Shay Shay's Instagram reel that promoted the interview. He claims that his career can't be reduced to a single joke that Katt Williams took the property of, and he said that he's been in over 40 movies. Those are a lot of words for someone that Katt narrated, stealing his jokes in a single breath. Seriously though, I was starting to think he was going to have a stroke in the first 5 seconds of the clip. But at least CJ stole Katt's jokes, cause Steve Harvey was out there stealing Williams' origin story. Calling Cedric the Entertainer was one thing, but calling Steve Harvey Mr. Potato Head is a whole other story. From stealing his jokes and convincing people, he stopped stand-up comedy because of his 7 TV shows. Harvey was living a life of lies. The real reason he stopped stand-up, according to Williams, was because he got in a comedy battle with him at the Championship of Stand-Up and lost. Oh, the roasts that night were endless, which might have been the reason the potato head look started in the first place. Katt told an audience of thousands of people that Harvey had a wig on and is actually bald underneath it. That roast alone put the poor guy in retirement. But Steve had the audacity to tell everyone that he used to be homeless. And I'm not gonna lie, I believed it too. Apparently that's Katt's story. Steve was never living out on the streets because Mark Curry was touring with him around 25 years ago, where he made $3,000 a show with 5 shows a week. Do the math, I'm pretty sure you can afford good housing with that much. Steve's stories didn't line up, cause he'd thank one wife for where he's in his career, forgetting the fact that he said the same thing about his first wife. In Katt's words, they think they can rewrite history. I wish I could say that the 3-hour-long interview had him beefing with just these 3 comedians, but man, the list is endless. One more left in the barrel, so let me tell you what he said about Ricky Smiley. In the movie Friday After Next, Ricky said that the role Katt plays was initially intended for him. Williams didn't take this lightly because he questioned Smiley's career with a Christian fan base. Like, dude, you can't even swear on camera, and you're out here wanting to play a pimp? Katt didn't stop there and criticized Ricky's acting, saying he can't act if his life depended on it. The only good role Smiley took was when he'd dress up as a woman, which sort of contradicted the Christian fan base too. So Williams said the only way he'd ever star in a movie with Ricky was if he dressed up as a woman, which he eventually did in First Sunday. Look at him making every other man's career in Hollywood, but here's the twist. So in Katt's first movie, his character was supposed to get assaulted, which he was not okay with. Guess who was, though? Yep, Ricky freaking Smiley. The honorable thing that Williams did in this situation was express how he felt about that one scene and respectfully tell the writers that the movie would work if they cut that scene out. Guess he was right, because the movie's an instant classic. I wish I could get into more about all the people he talked about in the interview, but I'll leave the video as it is now. And so from being the most relentless yet righteous soul in Hollywood to being an academic prodigy at a young age, that's everything you needed to know about Katt Williams.